Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Alex. Welcome to another episode of the Long 2 NBA podcast. This is episode number 46. I'm with both my co-hosts, Nathan and Seth.
Hello. What's up?
Yep. All right. Those intros are always so weird. Let's see. Y'all got can y'all think of anything that's happened over the past week?
No.
I sure can.
Really?
Nothing
Home
at
run
all.
derby.
Nothing really
Home run
comes to
derby.
mind.
No.
Alex Caruso got re-signed.
Big pickup.
All right, in all seriousness, there is a ton of free agency news that we're going to cover in this video. Crazy trades, stuff we didn't even see coming at all. And we're going to cover all of that today. And we're just going to go ahead and start with the Paul George and Kawhi to the Clippers news. But before we start that, if you guys hear some thunder or anything loud from nature, it's because I'm sitting outside. No, I'm just kidding. There's a storm going on, so if y'all hear something, then sorry. All right, so let's get started here. So this came out of left field. Let me just ask you guys, what was your initial reaction to seeing that Paul George was getting traded to the Clippers and then that Kawhi very soon after that committed to them? What was your guys' first, like, what were you doing when you saw it?
Before either of you guys. I was up.
You were already up? Like, you were up late?
Yeah, I was up. I was trying to, like, I was texting in the group chat. I was like, oh my God, guys, wake up.
Nathan, were you awake?
I woke up like an hour later and I did not go back to bed.
So you woke up like in the middle
I
of
was
the night.
about to go to bed, and then I, just scroll through Twitter because, I'm laying in bed at night.
Yeah.
And then just an absolute Woj nuke drops, and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, for real.
I couldn't get to sleep for like the next hour.
Right. Yeah, I woke up in the morning and I look at my phone and I see a Woj tweet that says how Sam Presti, it was like an article he wrote, how Sam Presti negotiated one of the craziest trades on the last night of free agency or whatever. But that was like the article title. And I saw I had a bunch of other texts and Twitter notifications and stuff, but I didn't look at them. I just wanted to see what this article was because I didn't see, like, I should have read all the other notifications because I didn't see what was going on. So I opened this article and I'm reading it, and it's talking about how he got Paul George to the Clippers, and I was like, holy shit, what did I miss? And then then in there he also said that, Kawhi soon followed because, Sam Presti was using the Raptors as leverage or whatever. I was like, okay, hold on, time out. I need to see.
Time out.
I need to see what the hell happened. And then I look in our group chat, and you tried to like FaceTime us, and you were like, guys, but we were both asleep, and I didn't see it until the morning, so. But I woke up and I was like, what the hell? Because I didn't see this coming. I did not see Paul George requesting a trade.
No, yeah, we were talking about. It was like, where's the odds that Kawhi goes to the Clippers? And we were like,
Oh, like how surprised
0
would
out
you
of
be?
10. Like
Yeah.
we firmly believe that he was not going to the Clippers. But what we didn't expect was the whole Paul George package.
Yeah.
No one expected that, I don't think.
No, not at all. Well, I just didn't want him to go to the Lakers. That was the one thing that I just did not want to happen. For me, like, I knew it was between the Raptors, the Clippers, and the Lakers. I would have been surprised if he joined the Lakers because that's just not the kind of guy he strikes me as, to team up with two other superstars and get, I don't want to say free rings, but get, like, there's no way LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kawhi Leonard lose, right? Like,
Right.
I can't see that. But that would have made me so pissed off if he went to the Lakers. Because for one, I said I was going to shave my head if he did. So I don't have to do that. And then for two, that would have just been an incredibly weak move. It would have been weaker than Kevin Durant going to Golden State, in my opinion.
Big facts.
But let's talk a little bit more about the fact that the Clippers pretty much had to trade for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, because the story is Kawhi told the Clippers, if you get Paul George, I'm going to sign. So,
Right.
So when they sent, 4 unprotected first-round picks plus another pick plus 2 more pick swaps, like in total, like put 7 potential first-round picks and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari to the Thunder, for Paul
Woo.
George, that is an absolutely incredible haul of assets. Like,
W.
that's probably one of the biggest prices to pay for a superstar, but you absolutely have to do it because these are two
Right.
generational talents. But no, the reason they did that is they had to. So they were essentially trading for Paul George and Kawhi because the only reason Kawhi was going to come is if they got Paul George. So what do you guys think about that deal that the Thunder? Well, let's talk about it for both ends. What does it mean for the Clippers and what does it mean for the Thunder? And then we can kind of get into Russell Westbrook too.
For the Clippers, it means they are a consistent contender for years to come.
Yes.
Their future is very bright, and I can't imagine this faltering or not working out like a Celtic situation where there's a lot of talent but it doesn't work out. I can't see how this roster could flop.
Yeah, there's
it
no
just seems
way.
like it's destined to do great things.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
and what was the other side you wanted to talk about? Is it the OKC?
For OKC, yeah.
For them, it's honestly Dame just buzzer beated them into a rebuild, which is
Yeah.
insane to me still.
Yeah, man, that was one of the most that shot is going to have ripple effects forever. And we're already seeing it with the Clippers situation in Kawhi and PG. That shot just shattered OKC and
It really did.
sent them into rebuild mode because they're gonna trade Russell Westbrook, as Woj reported. It's just a matter of when and where. But
Right.
yeah, they're going into rebuild mode. I mean, they got some great pieces. I mean, all those picks
Right.
are going to be absolutely tremendous. They got Shea
Right.
Gilgeous
This is
Alexander
one of the
who's gonna be
best
good.
ways to rebuild.
Yeah, and they got a solid. I don't want to call him a borderline all-star, Danilo Gallinari, but he's a very solid player for sure, in my opinion at least.
Inconsistent though.
Yeah, in the playoffs he didn't really show up. But Nathan, what do you think about it all? About the Clippers? Like, obviously they're contenders. There's so many contenders this season, which we'll talk about more as this goes on. But the Clippers are now one of the best teams in the NBA with Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Kawhi, PG. They got Mo Harkless. What do you like? Just what are your thoughts on the Clippers and the Thunder?
Well, for the Thunder, I thought they got exactly what they needed for a rebuild.
Right.
They could still obviously trade Westbrook, but to get 7 picks with the pick swaps included in there.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Paul George had 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
So they still could have had Paul George for 2 more years if they wanted to run it back this year. But I think Presti did a good job.
Yeah, he
And,
got
Shai
more
Gilgeous-
than enough, I would say.
They're saying it's the biggest, trade haul in NBA history.
Yeah, one of
really,
them.
if you look at it.
Yeah.
You got 2, decent players who can, one of them can, Danilo Gallinari. You could argue he could start on a playoff team for sure. And Shai Gilgeous is a good young player, so.
Yeah.
On top of all the picks, I thought the Thunder came out really well.
Yeah, they did a great job. They traded Jeremy Grant for a Nuggets first round pick, so they got another pick for the future. But trading away Jeremy Grant was kind of questionable to me because he's a solid young piece. I don't know why you would bank on. You do have 8 first round picks or something like that to bank on. You're going to hit on one, but still, you should at least. I don't know. I feel like that was a little weird. I
think it was a luxury tax move
yeah,
also.
The Thunder are so cheap and want to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, all they lost out on was James Harden from doing that. So.
But yeah, what did you guys?
Maybe.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I said you would have thought maybe they learned from.
Oh yeah, from
something like that.
Letting go of a guy who turned into a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys think about the trade request from Paul George? Like, to me, that came out of left field. I did not see that coming. Like, it was just so random. Like, after the whole unfinished business thing, and granted they lost in 6 and in 5 in back-to-back first rounds of the playoffs, one in heartbreaking fashion.
Right. At first, it was unexpected. I feel like it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, if he had the opportunity to go play with Kawhi Leonard and compete for championships, he's gonna do it, and that's the reason he asked for the trade in the first place. Because Kawhi hit him up and said, "Let's play together
right?
for a
He
trade."
he gave the Thunder a chance. He ran it back,
Yeah.
one more time, and
Yep.
it didn't work out. It only makes sense that he was trying to find another way to contend.
True.
But sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off, Nate. What did you want to say?
Oh no, you didn't cut me off.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say anything. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great point. I mean, it didn't work out when he recommitted. He gave it a shot and it didn't work.
Right, he gave them
I didn't
chances.
really think of it that way.
They just lost out on, they. I don't want to say they misused his talent, but when
They
Russ
just weren't
has
good enough.
the worst year of his career,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't looking good. He was like, I got to get out of this situation while I can.
Yeah. And okay, so he said he went in there and said, "Don't trade me anywhere but the Clippers." What made the Thunder decide to be like, "Okay, we'll trade you to the Clippers"? Like, they could have said no, traded him somewhere else, or they could have
Right.
just not traded him at all. Like, what's the incentive to do that? I mean, obviously you get a insane haul of assets, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think anyone else would have came off of 7 first-round picks unless they knew they were getting Kawhi and Paul George.
right.
Even for
Right.
just
So-
Paul George.
Right. Without Kawhi, this deal wouldn't have worked.
Oh, no.
And Paul George had no leverage if Kawhi Leonard wasn't involved.
Yeah, but this just shows
So-
the power that these star players have, man. Like, just to force their way out of the situation they're in to go do what they want to do before their contract is up.
Yeah.
Like, that's a ridiculous amount of power that these players have. But
You
like,
want to talk about soft move or boss move? That's a boss move.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's just so much parity in the league right now. I think the league's in the best place it's been in years, which
I
we'll
don't think
continue to
people
talk
knew
about.
what
as
the
we go.
word parity meant before, this year.
Yeah.
I'm saying we haven't had, parity like this. Maybe that one year after the Cavs won it for like a month. But
For like a month.
For like a month.
yeah, literally for a month. But after that,
Before
I
Kevin
can't remember
Durant.
since, before the Heat maybe?
Maybe it's been a really long time since where there were like 6 or 7 legitimate title contenders, maybe
Right.
more than that. But I'm just so excited. But let's talk about Russell Westbrook. So they're gonna be trading him, like I said, or like Woj said. But it's just like I said, it's gonna be a matter of when and where. What do you guys think? Where do you think he fits? And should they trade him at all? I mean, they're going to, but where do you guys think he fits?
Westbrook, we've heard the rumors of Miami and then mutterings of the Pistons. I've
Yeah.
heard that a little bit as well.
Yep.
Any other options that you guys have heard about or ideas of where he could go?
Those are really the only two, because
I got one.
they could use both of those teams could use a point guard upgrade. I'll let you go in just a sec, Nate. But Russell Westbrook is the type of player who I don't see really fitting anywhere. Like, that's just his play style, is the one man show for the most part. Last year I have to give him credit. He changed up his play style mostly so that Paul George could take the front seat. But he's starting to lose some of his athleticism, and he's never been a good shooter. And his kind of like one man wrecking crew style of play is kind of hard for me to see fitting anywhere, especially with his inefficiency at times. Like, some games, he's great and he's awesome, and then he has other points throughout the season or other games where he's just bad, and he like forces too much. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Russ, but it's hard for me to see him fitting somewhere where there's other like stars. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. He's going to have to. I think people will want to play with him somewhat if he keeps the consistency of passing and making plays for others, in a not a stat padding way, and more of a I want to help the team kind of way.
Right.
He needs to find it within himself that he's not the superstar he once was.
Yeah,
He-
exactly.
Unfortunately, it seems like he's declining. He could honestly, I can't see him having a worse year than last year, but it's possible. But I think he has to. If he doesn't bounce back this season, I don't know what's going to happen with him.
For me, the two things that he needs to improve on is his shooting. Just shoot 34 from three, or 45 from the field.
Right, at least be a threat. At least have some sort of, because people were just straight up leaving him up and said whatever, and he bricked it.
Yeah, and that's just what he did that's what the Blazers did in the playoffs. Their game plan was to let him shoot, and it worked. And that just speaks to what you just said, So, it's the other thing I was saying that I think needs to improve on is just playing more of a team style, balanced sort of play. You get what I'm saying? The teams who have other stars and other good role players they'll all make sacrifices so that everybody can eat. And Russ just doesn't seem like the kind of guy to do that. I haven't really seen him do it at all. So it's hard for me to see him fitting somewhere. I know, Nathan, you said you had one. What is it?
So when I think of Russ, he's not exactly like Ben Simmons because he's willing to shoot. But
yeah.
I think OKC's really gone about it wrong. I'm saying, and I think OKC kind of went about it the wrong way. Because Grant can shoot a little bit. He's good. Grant was a good fit. Paul George needs the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever they were starting at guard, Ferguson? He improved, so that was good for them. But for the most part, he needs to be surrounded by shooters.
Yes.
I think Denver would be a great place for him.
But they have Jamal Murray, who they just maxed out, which we'll talk about a little later.
So you'd have to trade him. You'd probably have to swap him, but I don't know. I'm sure Denver could get a third team involved and get more assets than just Westbrook for him.
Right.
But I really do think if you have Westbrook, you have Gary Harris who doesn't mind. He can shoot pretty well. Paul Millsap's a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Jokic can shoot a little bit from the outside.
Yeah.
It's just Denver has a lot of shooters.
Yeah.
But I think Westbrook could work there. I don't know.
Yeah, I like your point about the shooters and good players, but I wouldn't bank on 30. I guess he's going to be 31-year-old Westbrook over, young 20-year-old Jamal Murray, who's got a bright future. I would
for sure.
I would.
You'd have to get a third
guys.
team involved.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Things like that are reasons I can't see him really fitting anywhere. But if he went to Miami to play with Jimmy Butler, I think I could see that working. But again, this is two guys with egos and attitudes, and I just feel like that would clash. And they're both guys who aren't really great shooters, but are good players. And I'm not saying any of this to say Russ isn't a good player, wouldn't help a team. He would, but I just don't know if it would be enough to contend with Detroit or Miami.
With Denver?
With Denver, no, it'd be different. But still, I don't know. I can't see him playing with Jokic. It just doesn't seem like a good fit, just with his style of play.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm being a little too critical of Russ. Seth, I know you're a Westbrook guy, or you try to be at least.
I wouldn't say I'm a Westbrook guy. I'm highly critical of him as well. I just want things to work out for him. I'm not the biggest Westbrook fan. The potential has always been there, but he's always squandered it. It's frustrating. It's always been frustrating.
And this isn't to say he doesn't have big moments. We've seen him do it, but he's not a guy I'm gonna bank on to lead to be the best player on a championship team.
Right.
I don't know. I want things to work out for him too.
Jokic is pretty good. He could be that best player.
Who?
Jokic.
Yeah, probably. It's just
him
he
and
has to
Westbrook.
have other guys around him, I think, who are almost as good as him. That's just my opinion, though.
That's fair.
So now let's get into the free agency signings and trades and whatnot. So since we just talked about the Clippers, we'll kind of stay on there for half a sec. They re-signed Patrick Beverley to a 3-year deal, well deserved, I think. They're going to be so good
Well-deserved.
defensively with Patrick Beverly, Kawhi, PG.
Oh yeah, this is
Amazing.
going to be the best defensive team in the league, I think.
They're going to be
They're
they're going to be such a good team, like all around. I'm so excited for them.
Me
But
too.
they also traded for Mo Harkless, which is okay.
Good pickup.
I mean,
I think
he's solid, but he's inconsistent.
he started last year for
Yeah.
I think Portland.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's he's a good role player. He'll be a good role player.
He's a solid role player. Like it's just Portland was kind of wanting him to be more than that, but he's
Mhm.
just not that guy.
Yeah.
So I think playing with the Clippers, he'll star in his role. I think he's a good role
Agreed.
player. So that was a good pickup. And also we just mentioned Patrick Beverly. Did the Clippers make any more moves aside
J.
from trading
Michael
for Paul
Green.
George and signing?
I think they just re-signed. I'm trying to think.
I know they re-signed Patrick Beverly. That's all I really remember. I think that was like one of the only things they did until the earthquake night when
They
got
re-signed J. Michael
JaMychal
Green. I
Green.
think.
That's right, another good guy.
Yeah. I think that's who I was trying to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
another good role player. So they're gonna be really good, man. I'm excited. All right, so let's. I'm gonna start at the top here and go down, and we'll kind of try to organize it so we can talk about relevant. Like, okay, this is a super long list of things, so I'll try to just go team by team. So this was interesting. Darren Collison. We'll start with the Pacers. He retired at age 31. And he still had at least, 2 or 3, maybe 4 more years, and he was good too. Like he was aight.
Absolutely.
So that was random.
Two-way player.
Yeah, and he just called it quits. And then to replace him, they got Malcolm Brogdon from the Bucks. They did a sign and trade, right?
Yep.
We saw a lot of sign and trades, but he agreed to a 4-year deal with the Pacers, and they traded picks for him. Indiana gave the Bucks some picks, and then the Bucks gave him back, and they signed him right away. So that was
Great signing.
Great pickup. He's going to be their starting point guard. They're going to have Oladipo back. They did lose Bogdanovich, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I did like the move for getting Malcolm Brogdon. Excuse me. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say something that might be a little premature. But I think Malcolm Brogdon has the potential to be an all-star.
I agree.
Like, I think he could be an all-star next year, actually.
100%.
Especially if the Pacers are good, which I think they will be.
He's gonna have a big role too.
Yeah, he's gonna be the
Victor
starting point
Oladipo is
guard.
gonna miss. Victor's gonna miss some time still, even
Is he?
next season.
Is it projected to see how much like how much time he's gonna have to miss from his injury?
Well, I think he didn't he tear his Achilles too?
No, he had a knee
No.
injury.
Oh, was it an ACL? Man, I know it was something
No,
big.
it wasn't
right?
an ACL. It was it an MCL tear? I don't know. He had some kind of knee injury, and I don't think I don't think he's gonna miss much of next season. I think he'll be good to go.
Maybe opening day. I mean, do you think like opening day or?
I think so. And if
Okay.
not, then not too long after that. Like, he's not gonna miss like half the season. If he does, he'll probably only miss maybe 15 games.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of thinking. I mean, he's gonna have somewhat of a big role. Brogdon is if Victor misses time. So
Yeah, and he's gonna be a
Maybe
starter
that'll
anyway,
help him.
especially now that
Uh,
Darren Collison is gone, right?
Yep,
Yeah, I'm excited for them. That was a
that's
great
a big
pickup.
loss though.
Who?
Collison.
Well, I think Brogdon's better than him.
For the system that Indiana ran, Collison was like a high assist guy. I don't
Yeah.
know. Him and Victor fit really well too.
I
So
think
we'll
him
see
and
how
Brogdon are going to
Brogdon
be
fits.
even better. That's
I
just
can
my
see it.
opinion, though. But yeah, you're right. But he was also 31, and Malcolm Brogdon's like what, 26, 25, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was great for them. Did the Pacers make any other moves that y'all can think of?
Jeremy Lamb.
Did he sign there? Yeah, he did. You're right. They did get
Mhm.
Jeremy Lamb. He's solid. I still remember
Solid.
that half-court game winner he hit against the Raptors.
Ridiculous.
That was so dumb. Let's see. I think that was all they really did. But either way, that was a big deal. That was a great.
They had their
pickup.
team built for the most part, so
Yeah, so they didn't really need to do too much, but like I said, I think Malcolm Brogdon is going to be really, really good. The more his career goes, he only played 2 years, right? Or was it 3? Because he won Rookie of the Year in 2017. I think he played 3 seasons with Milwaukee.
yeah,
All right, so
yeah, because he wouldn't be a free agent if he
Yeah.
only played 2.
you're right. All right, so next, Klay Thompson is staying in Golden State on a 5-year max deal. They had to do this. This was obvious. We all saw this coming. This is nothing new. Congrats, Klay. Get back healthy.
Right.
Kevin Durant joins the Nets on a 4-year max contract. And then Kyrie Irving followed. Or, well, no, we already knew that was done for like weeks. So Kevin Durant followed Kyrie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Kevin Durant followed Kyrie, and Kyrie Irving joined on a 4-year, 141 max deal. So Nets get Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. What do we think, guys? The floor is yours.
Can I get some W's in the chat?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, go ahead.
With the thing is, obviously, it sucks that we're not going to see KD play next year.
I'm so mad he's not going to play next year, man.
I know. Man,
So
that would have made.
pissed we have to wait a year to see him with
Maybe
Kyrie.
Kyrie can get the rucker out of for
Yeah.
this year before next year.
Right.
There's that one
Right.
kid. It's like, yo, Kyrie, pass the ball.
Exactly.
There's that one kid who's like doing the stutter steps and stuff.
I love that video. It's like KD wide open on the wing, Kyrie shows him doing all that. That's hilarious.
Beating
man.
the leather off the ball.
Yeah. The only thing I'm concerned about is these are 2 ISO heavy guys, 2 sensitive guys. I don't know if this is gonna work. But then again, there are 2 superstars. It's going to work. But I just have my concerns about it. I'll say, not that I don't think it's going to work. I take that back. It will work. It's just a matter of, I think, how healthy Kevin Durant, or who Kevin Durant comes back as, whether he's close to the same version of himself, and it depends on if Kyrie is willing to, sacrifice for his best friend Kevin Durant, because these guys apparently became best friends out of nowhere.
Right.
But I think
They're
Kevin
best
Durant
friends
think
because
they'll make
they're
it
like, let's win.
Yeah, but no, this is an
you're
absolutely
sensitive to
lethal
media.
duo. I'm so
sensitive
excited.
to media.
Sorry, Seth. What'd you say?
No, you're good. I was just saying, like them just talking to each other. It's like, you're sensitive to media criticism. I'm sensitive too. Let's team up.
Right, and that I just don't know if that's going to bode well whenever they struggle, because it happens
Right.
with every team.
New
They're gonna
York
struggle
media,
at some point. Oh man, it's going to be bad. At least as far as the media is concerned, but when
Dude,
they're both
Kyrie's gonna
healthy
throw
on
a
the court
tantrum.
together, that's going to be really fun. What'd you say?
I was saying Kyrie's going to throw a tantrum.
No.
He's going to be in a press conference. He's just going to like slam his fist on the thing. It's going to be
my
like
God.
when Middleton left.
Oh,
All his
yeah,
teammates
yeah,
were like,
yeah.
yo.
I will say this though, Kevin Durant's a great guy from everything I've seen and read, and Kyrie Irving is kind of a loose cannon sometimes, but he's just a weird guy, man. But,
Definitely weird.
yeah, but when this duo is together and healthy, with the young core that the Nets have, to me this is a championship contender when they're healthy.
Perennial.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah, easily. Not next year because Kevin Durant's going to miss the whole season with injury, but moving on after that, assuming KD is the same player, that's going to be so much fun to watch, and they're going to be so good too, especially if Karis LeVert continues to develop, and Jared Allen and all those guys. So yeah, I'm real excited with that. All right, what else did the Nets do? They got DeAndre Jordan. Jared Allen, in my opinion, is better than DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jared Allen's playing in the summer league, which should not be a thing.
No.
And if DeAndre Jordan starts over Jared Allen, I am going to be a little annoyed. Like,
Yeah, me
really
too.
annoyed. I know he's friends with KD and Kyrie, but I mean, whether you have Jared Allen coming off the bench or DeAndre Jordan coming off the bench, I mean, you're okay, but I'd much rather have DeAndre Jordan coming off the bench.
I'd much rather not have DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, that was kind of an unnecessary move.
Absolutely. Like,
I remember
you
when they
have
said,
a
like,
better
oh,
player.
the big three. I was like, DeAndre is.
Nah.
He's not who he once was, or even close to
Absolutely.
it.
Exactly. You can find a million DeAndre Jordans in the
You can
NBA.
find a lot of
And they
guys who can
paid-
dunk and rebound for you and
Yeah,
protect the rim a little bit.
They couldn't give that $10 million to like JJ Redick or something.
For
They had to give it
real.
to DeAndre. Like,
For real, that could have gone to a much better player, and
a
at a
much
position
better
they actually
fit.
could have used an upgrade or, another solid piece at, not the center position.
Yeah.
That's actually hilarious. He said, "I'd much rather not have DeAndre Jordan."
Exactly. Like,
I agree, though. I agree. That's really funny. So, did the Nets do anything else? I think that was pretty much it, right?
Garrett Temple.
Oh,
He's not bad though. He's not bad.
He's alright. I didn't write that down though because it wasn't like a big thing. Did they do anything else? I think that was it.
It's not a Woj bomb.
It's not a Woj bomb. It's a Woj balloon.
It's a Woj balloon pop.
Woj breeze. All right, so let's move on to D'Angelo Russell, who did a sign and trade from the Nets to the Warriors on a 4-year max deal. And in order to make room for him, they had to trade Andre Iguodala and some picks to the Grizzlies. And Andre Iguodala is either going to be traded somewhere else or bought out or whatever. So that's cool. He'll play for a contender like he deserves to. But what was y'all's initial reaction to this? Because this came out of nowhere. Like, absolutely nowhere. Everybody thought he was going to Minnesota or whatever, but he ended up picking the Warriors. Like, when you do a sign and trade, and the organization will work with you to send you where you want. So
Yeah.
he picked Golden
So
State.
he did. You're right.
Which is crazy to me. So what do y'all think of this? Like, how is this going to work?
Well, I think he's going to be traded.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, when
Like
Clay
when
gets
Clay comes
back. Well, actually, I think they'll keep him until around the trading deadline.
Yeah.
And then wait and see which one of these hopeful teams think they have a shot and milk them for their role players or their picks.
Right. That's actually a good plan. But I also think it's a good plan if they decide to keep him. You run Steph at the point, D'Angelo at the 2, Clay at the 3, Draymond at the 4, and then they got Looney back, and you put him at the 5. To me, that's solid. Clay can play the 3. Why not? He can defend 4 positions.
Yeah,
So
but if you can get some role players.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. If they decide to flip D'Angelo for other, solid role players, that's fine. I really understand that. But I also think it's not a bad idea to keep him either.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Win-win.
Seth?
All right, okay. So, I'm sorry, my mind just blanked.
So D'Angelo Russell on the Warriors. Do you think they should trade him or keep him?
I don't know. I really, it's tough because this was such a weird sign. Like when I saw this, I was like, really? I didn't expect that. I mean, that's been the deal with a lot of these trades, and
Yeah, really unexpected and came out of nowhere.
right. But it's a smart reload for Golden State. It makes sense. Even if they don't use D'Lo, they could use him in a trade with something else if they want to get a more significant piece, or if they want, I don't know, maybe picks in the future so that they can develop and keep this an ongoing winning franchise and keep that winning culture there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a great move by Bob Myers to say we're not going to crumble because we lost KD. We're going to make some moves to make something else happen and continue to be a good team. So that's props to him for being able to do that. That's what good organizations and good executives do. What else did the Warriors do? Did they make any other signings or trades or anything? I know they traded for Amari Spellman, which pissed me off as a Hawks fan. Traded Damian Jones, swapped Damian Jones and a second-round pick to the Hawks for Amari Spellman. And then what'd you say? Nate?
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, that's right. They got Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's actually pretty good.
You have Looney. though. Not the same guy or
Who? Kevon Looney?
Looney?
Yeah. I mean, Looney's better defensively, for sure. And I've watched a little bit of Willie Cauley-Stein, and he can be a little inconsistent at times, but he's solid when he's having a good game. But he's not. He didn't really pan out for the Kings the way they wanted him to. But he has the potential to be a solid player for sure.
It felt like the Kings drafted a big every year from like 2013 to 2017. It was ridiculous.
Well, they got De'Aaron Fox in 2017, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying in the first round, it was just like I remember they had Labissiere in the first round, and Boogie tweeted about it. He was like confused, I guess. He used some emoji to.
Was that when he was on the Kings?
Yeah, it was when he was on the Kings,
wow.
so it might have been 2016. But and then they got Marvin Bagley last year. They had Cauley-Stein from a couple years ago.
Yeah, I swear if Marvin Bagley doesn't start next season,
he has to, right? I mean,
yes, there's no way he doesn't, because they had Bielitsa playing in front of him.
woo.
Right. That makes me mad.
That still irritates me to this day. But they got a new coach, so that's on him.
Oh, Luke
Luke?
Walton.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Did everybody just forget about the rape scandal thing
Whoa.
with Luke? I'm sorry.
No,
brought
I
that up.
remember that. Same thing with Porzingis.
Yeah, did everybody just forget about those?
I did, for sure. I was shocked you just said that. That happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Both Porzingis and Luke Walton. It just was swept under the rug, and I haven't
No,
heard
that
haven't heard
Porzingis
anything
story
since.
was scary. Did
Which
you see?
one?
Did you read into the reports with Porzingis?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. That was bad.
That
And that's what I'm
was-
saying. Like,
that
did
was
everybody just
some,
forget?
For real.
Like, that's.
I don't know about the Porzingis one, though. That one seemed kind of sketchy.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's weird, but I just wanted to bring. I don't know why I thought of that, but we'll move on. So, Kemba Walker went to the Celtics on a max deal. He was lowballed by the Hornets.
Because
basically
Michael Jordan did not know how to run a franchise.
Yes, he was given less money. They tried to give him a contract, that was a lot of money, but it wasn't the supermax, and it wasn't really what he deserved. So he was like, "Nah, I'm out." And I was listening to a podcast the other day, Zach Lowe's The Low Post, and he basically was saying it's like a wedding invitation, but you only got that invitation because whoever else couldn't come.
Right.
So it's not even like a real invitation. It's just
It's
kind of like a pity
come,
invite.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So he left to join Boston, replacing Kyrie Irving. They still have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Gordon Hayward's going to be better because he'll be healthier.
Smart. Marcus
And-
Smart.
Yeah, they still have Marcus Smart. They lost Marcus Morris, which sucks. Which we'll
Aaron
get to.
Baines.
Which we'll get to later.
Big
They traded
loss.
Aaron Baines. Yep. And what else did they do?
They signed.
Rozier.
Oh, they lost Al Horford,
They did lose Al Horford.
which we'll get to
Rozier.
later as well. They lost
Terry
Terry
Taco
Rozier.
Fall. Taco Fall.
They did get Taco Fall, and they got Romeo Langford. Who else did they get? The Purdue point guard, Carson Edwards.
Carson Edwards.
Yep, and they got Enes Kanter on a 2-year deal as well. So they're going to be a fun team next year. Their depth is a little questionable, but their starting lineup is going to be fun. They'll definitely make the playoffs. They'll be fun, but I am not so sure defensively. But I'm excited for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to have the roles they used to have. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And Gordon Hayward should be better, so that should be fun. What do y'all think about that?
They
I
should
think,
be a
sorry, go
contender.
ahead.
What's up?
They should be a contender. I mean, that's obvious. That's a given. But
Yeah, I think they'll be like a tier below contender, but they'll definitely be a good team.
Yeah, I agree.
there could
Defensively, they're
either
too
be.
bad.
What'd you say?
Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, I just think defensively it's going to be a big problem for them.
Yeah, that's what
Because,
I was saying.
I know Tatum can play defense, but you got guys like Enes Kanter if he's going to start.
Yeah. I
Kemba's
think he's gonna be the starting
undersized.
Yep.
Gordon Hayward wasn't that great on defense, but he's got a track record for being a good defensive player. So there's a lot of ifs defensively.
I'm going to give him a pass for
yeah,
last year.
I agree. That's why I say he has a good track record of being
right,
a good defender.
Right. Yeah, okay, so let's move on here. Derrick Rose is joining the Pistons on a 2-year deal. I assume he's going to start over Ish Smith, right?
I guess.
Unless they trade for Westbrook, then he'd back Westbrook up, I'm sure. But
I mean, he'll actually get Blake Griffin the ball, which is kind of cool.
yeah. And they still have Andre Drummond, so I mean, they're. I'm trying to make the best out of this, okay?
You don't own the friend. You don't have to defend them.
Well, it's not. It's okay. It could be worse. Okay, it could be worse. Blake Griffin had a good year. Andre Drummond is aight. Derrick Rose is going to be aight as long as he can stay healthy. So, hopefully, the Pistons will be aight. I mean, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get out the first round.
Nate is dying over here.
I'm just trying to see the positive in this. Okay.
I understand.
There's not a negative in it because he's better than Ish Smith, regardless of health.
Right, get a bunch of Pistons fans coming at us real mad.
Luke
There's
Kennard
like
is solid.
30 point guards better than Ish Smith.
What'd you say?
There's like 40 point guards better than Ish Smith.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing negative about this, but there's nothing like, oh wow, like you know what I'm saying, like. You know what's crazy though is the Pistons have the 2008 and 2009 number 1 picks on their roster, and it's not no one's batting an eye because of how much has changed in 10, 11 years. It's just crazy how time works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just it could be worse. It could be much worse. They could be the Suns. So,
yeah, they could.
I mean, they're going to be a playoff team, I think.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they might. I mean,
well, it's the East. So
the Hawks might make it over them, and I mean that, and I'm saying that kind of like hopefully, but also like it could happen. Like it really could happen.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's move on. Damian Lillard agrees to a $196 million supermax extension with the Trailblazers with a player option, which is a total of 6 years, $258 million.
Bag. Live sports.
Absolute bag. If you ask me, Damian Lillard is worth every penny of that.
I can't disagree.
You're right. This guy's a superstar. You have to pay him. You have to keep him. They're building a pretty good team around him. So that's my thoughts. Seth, what you got?
Yeah, that's just obviously Damian Lillard has made his intentions clear that he's not going to team up with anyone. That he's sticking with the Trailblazers.
Yep.
Trying to round that and just stick with that. And,
his thing is he'd rather recruit than team up.
Right. He'd rather be like, hey, come over to Portland, I guess. But sorry. Yeah, but that's not an insult to the team. That's just like the city of Portland. It's just like
it's a small market, but he's such a he's a superstar in the NBA, so he's giving them like the light of day. I want to say like they're a small market, but because of him, they're like a big team. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's just my opinion, but what were you saying, Seth? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I didn't
come play in Portland, insulting the city.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I mean, it's like 95% white hipsters, and that's like one of those things where it's like, come play in LA, come play with Portland. Like,
right.
We'd rather go.
Right, for sure. But he's gonna. How old is he? I think he's 28 or 29. So this is definitely worth it. I hope he wins a ring during the next 6 years. I don't think it's gonna happen because of like they're definitely like Portland's a contender. I think, especially after some of the moves they made and the moves the other teams made. Like there's like I was saying earlier, there's like 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10 contenders. Right? I think they're one of those teams. But I just don't think it's gonna happen because I think there's other contenders that are better than them right now, like Clippers and Lakers or whatever. Even some of the teams in the East, Philly, and which we'll talk about. But This they had to do this. I mean, he made it clear, like you said, he's not going to leave. He wants to build it right there. So I like it a lot. I like what they've done. What else did they do? They traded for Hassan Whiteside, who's going to start in place of Nurkic until he gets back. They re-signed Rodney Hood, and I think what else did they do? They lost Al-Farouq Aminu. They traded what's his name, Myers Leonard and Mo Harkless.
They lost Seth.
They lost Seth Curry. Jake Layman is gone. He went to the Timberwolves.
The twin White Towers are gone.
The twin White Towers.
You're right.
What else did they do? Yeah, Whiteside was traded for Myers Leonard and Mo Harkless, who were sent to Miami, and then Harkless was sent to the Clippers. They lost Cantor.
Someone was like, "This is your Portland starting centers." That video
running around the heat locker room. I love that video.
Right.
That video is hilarious. But no, to me they got a solid team. I'm a little worried about their depth, but they're starting five, and some of the guys they got coming off the bench are going to be aight. They drafted Nasir Little, so they'll be aight.
They'll be
nice.
It should be Nasir Little time. It should be.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up starting, but he's going to have to earn that spot, which I think he'll get relatively quickly. What else we got here? Jamal Murray, 5-year, $170 million extension with the Nuggets. If you ask me, he's not worth that right now, but I think in a few years he will be.
No, all these players have just been securing their bags. It has been
absolutely
secure the bag season.
Yeah, it is bag season, no doubt.
Gotten to it.
What did KCP get paid? Like $30 million?
Oh my god!
Too much damn money.
Way too much money.
Is that tweet from Woj? It's like when KCP goes 1 of 5 from 3. Money.
Okay, I'm not gonna front. He's solid, but he's just a little inconsistent with his shot.
All right, he's a solid player. He's not $30 million solid.
No, he's not. He's not that. Danny Green is though. The Lakers did get Danny Green.
I don't mind that. That was a decent signing. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Lakers in a little bit, but yeah, I think Jamal Murray will be worth that eventually. Just not. He isn't right now, but I think that's what they're planning for is the future. So I'm not mad at that deal at all. They also gave Jokic a max extension too, earlier this year. I believe, right? Okay, this one's a little wild. Chris Middleton returning to Bucks on 5-year, $178 million deal. To me, Chris Middleton is not a $180 million max extension player. I think he's a tier below that.
Had to.
Yeah, but he was their second best player, arguably third throughout the year. But no, he's really good. He's got a unique skill set.
Yeah, agreed.
And he's a good defender. He does a lot of things for you. He's just a great player. I just don't know if I would have given him a $178 million deal. Like maybe 160.
Somebody was gonna give it to him.
That's true. But oh man, shout out to him though. He's a great player. It's just I don't think he's worth quite that much, but he's worth close to it for sure. So Brook Lopez staying on the Bucks for 4 years. He got a 4-year deal, man.
Good for him, man.
Splash Mountain got his bag. Let's go.
Greatest nickname in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. No, he was a great player for them, so I'm happy they did that. I remember what was it, game 1 or 2 against the Raptors in the conference finals where he had where he was going off.
Like 50-foot bombs.
Yeah, man, he was doing it to him. Let's see,
It felt like 50 foot.
Yeah, for real. Staying on the Bucks, they re-signed George Hill for 3 years. That was big.
That was nice. He played well.
Yes, he did. We talked about how they lost Brogdon, and I think that was really. Did they make any other moves that I'm missing? I think that was it. Oh, Wesley Matthews. They got Wesley Matthews.
Good bench.
And that was good for him. Yeah, they're going to be good next year, just like they were this year. So I'm excited for them. They're going to run it back. Obviously, they have Giannis, superstar. So they're going to be pretty good on that front. Um, okay, next let's talk about the Sixers. So Al Horford, the Embiid stopper, joins the 76ers on a 4-year. I think it was a $90 million deal, but if they win a championship, he gets an extra $10 million.
Oh my goodness.
So
I love those incentives. I
like
really
that
wish
too.
like all contracts had a, if you get to this round of the playoffs, you get this.
right, you get
Um,
this bonus.
Right.
Those
I like those.
contracts they're more like that in the NFL, like
Yeah,
incentive.
they're pretty unique to have these type of contracts in the NBA, but I like the
Yeah.
idea of them for sure.
Definitely.
So, what do you guys think about Al Horford joining the Sixers? What do you think about the fit and how good they're going to be with him?
Well, the Embiid stopper is now playing with him, so maybe he can explain. I
Yeah.
think that veteran presence for Embiid is something that he needs, and I think it'll help a lot with his development. And I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible fit. I don't think it's a great fit either, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like
it
a
can work. Not at the 4 though. Al Horford is not a 4 anymore. He's too slow.
yeah, and he's kind of
Absolutely.
getting up there in age a little bit. He's aging somewhat. But yeah, I agree. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a great fit, but it's not a bad fit either. It's just a matter of if they can make it work.
I think as a 6-man, he could really be deadly. Like bring him in with the second unit, and he's a point forward.
Yeah.
So I mean, he can distribute really well. Good defender, but
He's gonna start though. He's
He's
not gonna come off
not-
the bench. I hope not.
then I don't think it's a good pickup because
Really?
he's way too slow to play the floor.
I don't know. I mean, Embiid's not fast.
He's not fast,
Yeah.
but he's more crafty, and I'd say Embiid is a lot faster than.
Horford, yeah.
He's just huge. He doesn't need to be
Yeah.
fast.
Right,
He's
like
like-
he can run
he's
the
like
floor just with
7'2".
his giant
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, but like, they're gonna give you so many problems defensively and offensively. I
don't know about
see it. I don't
defensively
see it
with
being
Horford.
bad whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't like the spacing with Horford at the
That's
4.
true. That's gonna be an
I would
issue.
I would throw Mike Scott honestly in there.
Oh, they
at
also
the
they also
4.
retained Mike Scott. No,
Yeah,
no
so
way in
I'd throw
hell I'm
him-
starting Mike Scott over Al Horford. I'm sorry, Nate.
But when you have Ben Simmons who cannot shoot and will not shoot, you need guys around him who can shoot. And Embiid will shoot the 3. He's not scared.
So will Horford.
But,
So will Tobias
but-
Harris, who they kept, and so will Josh
but
Richardson.
Horford's not quick enough to play the 4. Defensively, if he's getting drawn out of the perimeter consistently, but like, do you see some of these guys who are playing the 4 now? Like, they're not big men anymore. They're
Right.
pretty much small forwards
I
who
got
are
you.
playing the 4 now. So I don't know.
Yeah. And they
It's
wouldn't I don't know.
definitely.
Yeah, I think Philly's gonna kind of be one of those like positionless teams. They're just gonna have the guys out there, like Josh Richardson.
Yeah,
They traded for Josh Richardson. I don't know why I can't say his name. Traded for Josh
Yeah.
Richardson in the Jimmy Butler deal, sending him to Miami, and
Mhm.
that's how the Clippers got Mo Harkless too. Is they traded him there. It was like the 3-team deal, whatever, to make the cap space work. But Josh Richardson is a solid upcoming player. He's going to be
Great.
really good. I like him a lot.
Absolutely.
You
Nice
got Ben
pickup.
Simmons at the point. Your 3 spot is Tobias Harris, who they kept on a $180 million deal. Again, same
yeah.
thing with Brogdon. I don't think he's not Brogdon. Sorry, Chris Middleton. I don't think he's worth quite that much, but he's definitely close to it, and he's a great player, so you got to keep him. And I just think their starting 5 is going to be one of the best in the league for sure. They're my favorite to come out of the East right now. So, what about you guys? Would you agree with that? I mean, yeah, you're just silence. Okay.
No, sorry. It was just really quiet. I don't know. There's so many contenders. It's hard to really tell
Exactly.
how deep like these teams will run next
Yeah.
season.
They're not my favorite.
Who's your favorite? The Bucks?
They're not mine.
Bucks, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue between those two for sure.
Even Pacers, you could argue.
You can argue a lot of teams,
Nah.
but I like the Sixers the most in the East right now. That might change by the time the the playoffs come, but because I got to see how these teams are playing before I make
And I
too many bold predictions.
and I still think the Raptors are going to be good.
They're
Like
going to be a
maybe they
playoff
won't
team for
be.
sure, but they're not going to
Like
be championship contenders.
I think they could still be a top 4 team in the East. I mean, did you see their record without Kawhi last year?
Yeah, I'd say top 4
They're
or 5.
competent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're going to be a good team for sure.
OG
I just
coming
feel like
back
they're
next
missing that
year.
star player that championship contenders need.
Like a fun guy type.
Like, every contender has that superstar, and they don't have
Board
that
man.
right now.
Yeah,
What'd you
they need the board man.
Yeah, they needed Boardman, but they're still going to be a good team, no doubt.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Sixers, though? I personally like it. I like it a lot, and I think they're going to be good. Regardless of who plays what position, you got 5 guys out there who are really good basketball players. They'll figure it out. They did lose J.J. Redick, though, and that's pain.
Yeah, I agree. I just think this year these East teams need to really take advantage because I think after this year, the next couple of years are going to be probably Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah, this is their window's here, but they're still, I think, just as good as Brooklyn.
Even with
If
KD?
KD's not there, and I don't know.
Even with KD, I think they have a lot of star power.
Whoa.
What? That's not
I don't think
crazy.
so. Brooklyn has a lot of good young players, too.
No, I know that. Yeah.
Like Joe Harris. I like Joe Harris. I like Karis LeVert, Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Like, those guys could be
Spencer
the
Dinwiddie.
bridge. Spencer Dinwiddie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the Nets a lot, but I think the Sixers are going to be right up there with them.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm out of pocket for that, but that's just what I think. I got to see how Kevin Durant returns, and I need to see if they can make it work. Because, Kyrie Irving has the track record of being a locker room. I'm not going to say that word, but he has the track record of not being a great teammate. Yeah, I don't know why that just didn't feel right coming out of my mouth at that point in time, so I didn't say it.
I got you.
Let's see, what else? You guys got anything else on the Sixers?
Nah.
I bet. Jimmy Butler, we mentioned he's going to the Heat. This is a weird thing for me. They're not a contending team by adding Jimmy Butler, but they're definitely a playoff team. If they get Westbrook, I still think they could make some noise, but I don't think they'd get to the East Finals.
Oh, that'd be fun, though.
That would be fun.
The
if they can make it work.
NBA duos.
Yeah. There's so many good ones.
I like it better that way.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Yeah.
Seth, what do you think about Jimmy Butler going to the Heat?
He just wants to play dominoes and chill.
I tweeted this. I said the only what matters to him is being the guy, location, and money. That's kind of what it seems like.
Right, and when I saw that, I can't remember if it was Shams or Woj saying the impression that with Dwayne Wade's retirement left on Jimmy Butler, I dismissed it. I was like, he's flip flop.
I was like, go to hell. That's not the reason.
Right.
I think he was impressed with the
still
fans.
going on in my house.
But Miami will never love Jimmy Butler as much as they love Dwayne Wade.
Of course not. Of course,
unless he
not.
wins a championship there and is the best player.
He just saw the reception of I guess he just likes that atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're kind of running out of time here, so I'm going to all the rest of these deals are kind of mostly small ones, so we can just kind of run through them. JJ Redick went to the we'll start with Terry Rozier went to the Hornets. Cool. JJ Redick agrees the 2-year deal to join the Pelicans. The Pelicans are going to be fun next year, by the way. Fun as hell.
Must watch TV.
Yep. Harrison Barnes staying with the Kings on a 4-year deal. Might have gotten a little too much money, but
Harrison Barnes is like the king of getting the bag. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, his agent was really smart because he opted out of that $25 million deal and ended up getting something similar for a longer term. So
And people were clowning him too. They were like, "Man, what are you turning down 20,
Yeah.
25 million for?"
for real,
He's
but
like,
he's
I got a
he's
bigger
solid.
bag waiting.
He said, "I got that bigger bag in the works."
That's hilarious, man. Yo, but he's actually solid. I think he'll be good with the Kings, especially for
Yeah.
what they're trying to do. But there's just so many good teams in the West. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. But you never know. Jonas Valanciunas staying with the Grizzlies for 3 years. Cool. Kristaps Porzingis staying with Dallas on a 5-year max contract. Risky,
We just saw that
but
coming.
you had to do it, and we knew that was going to happen. Him and Luka Doncic, assuming Porzingis is healthy, is going to be really fun.
They really bust down the white lineup. It's going to be fire.
Man,
Yes, sir.
you know what? I want my due credit. I want my due credit. I told you
You are-
guys. I told you
You
guys
knew.
that the Mavericks and Mark Cuban only want white players, and you guys didn't believe me. And now everybody's making the memes about it.
Oh yeah, man.
And I remember I
can
said
admit when
this.
I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. Some
Thank
people-
you. Because they wanted to get Goran Dragic and Vucevic,
That's pretty funny to me, honestly.
and I'm
Like-
so and they traded Dennis Smith Jr. Like I'm for
And DeAndre
Porzingis
Jordan and
and
Harrison
DeAndre
Barnes.
Jordan. Yes. I'm telling you, man, I told y'all this, and y'all said I was reaching with the white players
Mark
in the
Cuban a
Mavericks.
racist?
Surprise.
Surprise!
Yeah. Thaddeus Young is joining the Bulls on a 3-year deal. Good pickup. Terrence Ross returning to the Magic. What was his deal? Was it like a 3-year?
I cannot.
I have 5-year deal written down here, but there's no way it's a 5-year deal.
Nah,
That's
I don't
not
think
right.
so. Yeah.
But he was a great spark off the bench, so I like that signing, or re-signing rather. Trevor Ariza, 2-year deal with the Kings. I forgot they got Ariza.
He's just chasing the bag too.
Yeah, true. Good pickup.
He-
Good player.
He saw what happened in Houston that year, and he's just like, you know, man, I'm not even going.
I need
He
this
did a
bag.
reverse boogie.
So Magic also picked up Al-Farouq Aminu on a 3-year deal. Solid pickup.
Solid.
Ricky Rubio, 3-year deal with the Suns. They got their point guard, but at what gain? No,
I think
I'm
the
kidding.
Suns just need basketball players.
Yeah,
This
who are
time.
decent, who are solid. Solid pickup, but they're not going to do anything.
Nope.
Not in the near future, at least. What else they got? Bojan Bogdanovic, 4-year deal with the Jazz. This was probably
Mhm.
one of the other bigger ones that we didn't get to yet. The Jazz are going to be excellent. They're going to be really, really good.
Excellent.
One of the best teams in the league. Bogdanovic was a huge pickup for them, especially to fill that
Big
4
facts.
spot. I like it a lot.
Makes sense.
Yep. Great shooter, great basketball player. He was the best player on the Pacers after Oladipo went down. And he's just really solid. They're going to be really good with Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, and now Bojan and solid bench. So I'm excited for them. We talked about Malcolm Brogdon already, talked about Rodney Hood, talked about Tobias Harris. Oh, God. The Knicks. Julius Randle joins the Knicks on a 3-year deal. Cool. He's solid, but not what the Knicks fans were hoping
No.
for.
No, they just straight up struck out. They struck out, did a 360, and threw the bat into
Yeah.
the opposing team's bullpen. Like,
But
I can't stress how badly they screwed this up.
you know, I think I'm going to take an opposite approach here, like I did with Derrick Rose and the Pistons. You know, they signed some solid vets and solid guys. They're not going to do anything in the postseason or probably make the postseason at all. But they made some decent moves to get some guys on tradable deals and, you know, solid vets and whatnot. They struck out on the big guys, but I think they did an okay job for the Knicks as a backup plan. But go ahead and get your. I'm afraid for what you're about to say.
I've got nothing else to say. Nate?
Nate, what's your thoughts on the Knicks moves?
I feel like a part of me thinks they were just trying to take everybody else's role players, or
Yeah.
just in spite.
But yeah, at what game? Like, what did they really do?
Nothing. They didn't do anything.
Right. Okay. So we talked about George Hill, talked about DeAndre Jordan, Ed Davis. Oh, the Jazz got Ed Davis. I forgot. He's another.
They
He
got
was
Moody
another
there.
really solid guy in the Nets last year. He used to play for Portland. He's one of the best backup centers in the league, actually. Great rebounder and just solid player. So that's big for the Jazz for their depth. We talked about Pat Bev. We mentioned Seth Curry going to the Mavericks. He's almost white.
Almost.
So it passes Mark
No,
Cuban's.
that for the rest of the white player, black player that he says like I'm not racist. I just
he passed Mark Cuban's skin test.
no,
Yeah,
it's that
exactly.
meme where it's Peter Griffin in the car. It's like okay, not okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious.
But it says Maverick Rocket on it.
Maverick or Rocket. That's so funny. We talked about Whiteside getting traded to the Blazers. Austin Rivers returns to the Rockets on a 2-year deal.
Makes sense. We clowned on him earlier in the year, but he has come out and showed he is worth a lot more than what we.
Yeah, you mentioned that
great.
every time we bring up Austin Rivers and how good he's been for the Rockets, is that we clowned that signing at first, but he was actually really solid for him.
Right,
He
and I'm
took a
happy.
minimum too.
Yeah.
Quinn Cook got $6 million and Austin Rivers got 1, and
Oh
I
my
definitely
God.
much rather have Austin Rivers.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's crazy. Good for him though. Enes Kanter, we talked about Wesley Matthews. We talked about Kevon Looney. We haven't talked about the Lakers yet, so here we can talk about the Lakers. So I was a little skeptical about how they were going to fill out their bench, but I have to give credit where credit is due. I think they actually did a really nice job. They got Danny Green, DeMarcus Cousins, Rondo, and Avery Bradley to fill out their bench. I really like that. All 4 of those signings are all quality guys. It depends how DeMarcus Cousins returns, though, because he was bad in the playoffs for the most part. But
It's not a
he had his
huge. It's not a
moments.
huge boost, but it's definitely an up from
Yeah.
what they had last year.
Yeah, for sure. They kept JaVale McGee. Danny Green is excellent. They got him. Rondo for the bench, great. I wish they had signed Marcus Morris because that would have been huge for him too. But the Spurs got him, which is a weird signing. I mean, the Spurs are a good team. I think they might surprise some people next year because they're kind of flying
gonna
under the
be-
radar right now. But that
They're
was
gonna be
definitely a
good
big pickup.
defensively.
What'd you say?
They're going to be good defensively.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm a little worried about the aging LaMarcus Aldridge though,
Yeah,
but he's still solid
definitely.
for sure.
They should run him at the 5.
He's a power forward. I can't see him running the 5. Can't see him guarding 5s.
I mean, he's 6'11".
I don't know, bro.
Right?
Yeah, you may be right. I don't know.
Not much of a rim protector, though, so you're right.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, what else do you think of? What do you guys think about the Lakers' moves? I mean, I forgot half these guys were available. Avery Bradley, I think, was a good pickup. But yeah, what do you guys think and all about all that? They did better, much better than I thought they would after losing out on the Kawhi sweepstakes. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is it the
You're good.
Lakers?
But what do y'all think about their
better
signings?
bounce back than the Knicks.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But the Knicks also didn't have, LeBron and AD. If they did, I think their signings would have meant a lot more if they had 2 superstars. But the Lakers are definitely going to be a championship contender next year. I wouldn't put it past them to come out the West, but they're going to
I'm
have a
just
battle with the
confused.
other LA team.
I'm kind of confused, like, fit-wise still, even.
Really?
I mean, I saw they might run Kuzma at the. I think that'd be a big mistake
At where?
at the 3.
Why? Why would that be a big mistake?
He's not a good defender at all, and when
Well,
you have DeMarcus,
Oh, well,
on
yeah,
the court
DeMarcus
at the
Cousins ain't a
same
great
time.
defender. Yeah, that was my concern too, is defensively, but
and too many specialists.
they're kind of deep. What do you mean?
Yeah,
too
but
many?
you-
Danny Green and Avery Bradley are going to be the best defenders on that team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Anthony
those two should
Davis.
start. in my
Anthony Davis
opinion.
is a phenomenal defender.
Anthony Davis, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so I think their best lineup would be those 2 guys, Davis, Braun, and then
Who are your starting
McGee.
guards?
McGee, I think, should be the 5.
Well, LeBron's
Yeah.
going to run point. Remember that.
Right. So LeBron's going to be a guard, and then Avery at the 2, Danny at the 3.
Oh, wow. I mean, they have options, honestly.
Yeah, they can mess around with the lineup.
And I actually like what they did a lot. I really do. Because when you just said that about when you were talking about the lineups, like, they have a lot of options, actually. Danny Green playing the 3, though, that's kind of weird. But
He's 6'6", though.
I know.
He's
I mean,
tall.
yeah, he could do it. It's just it seems weird in my mind for whatever reason. But no, they definitely have some depth for sure. They've got choices.
They have depth, but they don't have like some of the quality players that the Clippers or Jazz have, in my opinion.
Sure,
Like
I would say in terms of quality players that the Jazz and the Clippers have are more quality than those that the Lakers have. But they also, those other teams, the Clippers and the Jazz, don't have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So they're just this goes back to there being
Clippers
so many good teams.
I mean, you could argue the Clippers have just as good duo. Just
Yeah,
as
Paul
good
George and
of a
Kawhi
duo.
Leonard, absolutely, you could argue it. But I want to, before I say all that, I want to see how they play together and what they do, how they look. But no,
Yeah.
it's the Battle of Los Angeles is going to be amazing. I can't wait to watch those games on TV
Me too.
4 times a year.
I think Steve Ballmer's going to have a stroke.
Yeah,
Just
really,
watching how good
really.
this team's going to be.
And dude, if they meet in the playoffs, oh my God, that would be
Going to be a big old tomato yelling.
Can you? Oh man, that would be one of the greatest matchups in playoff history. With the way the teams are now.
5.
5?
Yep.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
5.
In
You need
favor
two-way
of
players
who?
in the playoffs.
In favor of who?
You need 2-way players in the
Oh,
playoffs.
go to hell.
I'm just saying.
5 games?
Maybe 6. Maybe 6.
Bro, I'm sorry. That's at least 6 or 7.
Not okay. I'll say 6. I'll say 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would have to go 6 or 7.
Who's
at the
gonna
bare
guard?
minimum.
Who's gonna guard Leonard? Or let's be honest.
Or-
I mean,
Well, Paul George has yet to show up in the playoffs lately in the past couple of years, but he has a much better team around him this year, so I think he will. But
yeah,
no, you're
You know,
right.
who's gonna-
Kawhi Leonard never fails to show up. So
yeah, and maybe okay they have trouble with AD, but I trust they'll find a way to at least somewhat neutralize LeBron. They have 2 of the best defenders in the game. Right?
bro, you know who LeBron James is, right?
I'm saying they'll find a way to at least limit him. I mean, they can throw 2 different they can
Nah,
throw Leonard at him
try to
sometime.
limit
They
him.
might be able to
He-
hold him
he's
under
not gonna
35, but he's still gonna do his thing.
They'll hold him under 30 for sure.
Oh yeah,
if they
we're
want
talking about
to.
Kawhi and Paul George. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah, my fault.
No, I see what you're saying. No, LeBron is just LeBron. It doesn't matter what you do; he's still gonna do his thing.
He's gonna be 35, mind you.
It's gonna be 34, I think, right? Or is he gonna be 35?
No, he's gonna be 30. He might already be 35.
Let me look this
No,
up real quick.
he's going in his 17th year.
Right. How old is LeBron James? Let's see. He's gonna be 35 in December 30th.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But
But
still
he's-
when
he's
he's
got-
healthy, he's still LeBron.
Think about it this
Best player in
way:
the NBA when he's healthy. What's up?
how many playoff runs has this guy gone through too?
Who?
Like
LeBron?
He
Oh, countless.
yeah,
His
so
entire
many.
career. 9.
I
What is
think
it,
we're
8
gonna-
finals? 9 finals appearances.
Yeah, I think they should make sure and limit him to 60-ish games this season.
Yeah, load management is going
I-
to be such a problem next year, but it's going to be worth
Absolutely.
it. I'm not looking forward to that.
He definitely does not need to be playing any close to 70 or 80 games
No,
because they
absolutely
are going to
not.
need him badly for the playoffs.
I just hope those big marquee games aren't ruined because of load management. That's the one thing that's scaring me.
I think you have to actually play him in those, or unless they have a serious injury. They said there was a new rule for that. Remember?
Yeah, I hope they
Because the Spurs kept
institute
doing
that
it.
for the national TV games. You have to play your guys.
Yeah, you can't rest them for them.
I hope not. I hope not. Especially like what if they're healthy? If they're healthy, unless it's like an injury, like you said, a serious injury. But or like I wouldn't say a serious injury. I said anything like if it's an ankle sprain or whatever. But if it's just like a I don't know, fucking elbow bruise. You know what I mean?
You know, and like back to that Lakers thing too. Why are people like we're sleeping on the Jazz? I think the Jazz are better than them too.
The Jazz are going to be an elite team, probably the one
Mike
or two,
Conley,
top three
like-
seed probably.
If Donovan Mitchell gets even a little bit better, come on, like he's already a 20.
Oh, he's going to be a buck
24.
next year.
And you got Conley now. They might have the best backcourt in the league.
Cap.
I mean, who else? Clay's hurt.
One of the best. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum,
Yeah, you're right.
James Harden,
Forgot
Chris
about
Paul.
Nope,
Nah, maybe not anymore.
not anymore. Yeah, and that's my guy too.
Yeah. We could talk all day about that.
Bogdanovich, Rudy Gobert.
They're going to be
Come
excellent.
on,
There's going to be
bro.
so many good teams next year, man. I'm really excited.
And they have a coach.
Yeah,
Lakers don't have
excellent
a
system
coach.
and coach. Yeesh. Frank Vogel.
Mm,
Woohoo!
yikes! Wasn't he
You know,
like a?
he's
wasn't
not.
he a
He's not
backup
that bad
plan?
though. He was actually good when he was in Indiana. He just hasn't had an opportunity really with a good team. So we'll see what he does.
They weren't even gonna hire him.
Look, bro.
Just Tyronn Lue fell through.
Yeah. Oh God, that's true. And
That was
LeBron-
weird.
That
They
was who
had
LeBron
that, like,
wanted.
all lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got him a cake that had the Lakers logo on it for his birthday.
I remember. It was a done deal, and then they tried. He wanted a longer deal than they would give him. I forgot about that. You're right. Oh man, that's tough. Well, whatever.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Frank Vogel will be gone in a year, and we'll be talking about Jason Kidd.
You're right. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. All right. I think that's everything. Y'all got anything else?
No, I think we covered literally everything.
Yeah, this is like an hour and 20-minute long episode, so
It was a lot of news.
yeah, it was a
Makes
lot of
sense.
stuff to cover for sure. So that's why it's so long. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Comment, let us know what you think, and subscribe for more. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Later.